Internet dating. It's been around for a long, long time. Some people like it, some people absolutely hate it. But let's be honest, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. But I'm going to tell you a story right now about the time I decided to dip my toe into the crazy world of online dating. And I'm going to take you on a journey of probably one of the craziest nights of my entire life. To this day, I still try and wrap my head around about it. So put your feet up, sit back, relax, because I'm going to take you on a journey of the craziest day I have ever been on. So guys, thanks for joining. Before we get into it, if you like the video, bash the shit out that like button. And if you want to subscribe to see my other videos, chuck the subscribe. It helps the channel immensely. And if you're into podcasts, go and check out the Walk the Line podcast. It's a great interview show, real people, real stories, inspiring people on there. It's fantastic. Available on all podcasting platforms. And if you have any sort of like crazy internet stories of your own, chuck them in the comments. I'd love to hear yours, and hopefully they might be worse than mine, because I've not met anyone who has got a crazy story like this. So let's get into this. So start off I'll try and set the scene for you a little bit so you can understand the kind of backstory and the plot points and all that sort of craziness. I might kind of go off on little tangents because that's what I do. So to start off with, to set the scene, I have literally just recently, this was going back a few years ago, well before Bumble and Hinge. It was when Tinder was really starting to become really popular. Tinder was the only app out there. You had Plenty of Fish. Let's be honest, that is the fucking dregs of society. Go on that app. And if you're watching this and you're on Plenty of Fish right now, stop it. Stop it right now. We know you're a wrongin', stop it. So anyway, carrying on going forward. So I've been split up from my fiance at that point in time for 3 months. Moved out, got myself into my, with my housemate, tried to sort my life out again, sort of thing. Trying to get over what's going on the past 5-6 year relationship that was just in. So about 2 months into it, of my single life, mates were telling me, get yourself back out on the dating scene. Get yourself back online dating. Now, I thought online dating was a bit of a weird thing to be on, you know. I'm just like, oh, online dating? What a strange thing. I know, back then, you used to be classed as a weirdo for trying to do the online dating thing. Nowadays, it's part of society. So how times have changed. So I was like going to my friends, nah, I'm not up for it. I'm not ready for it yet. But they were pushing. Just do it. Get yourself back on the horse, you know. So Muggins here decides to succumb to peer pressure. So I set myself a profile up on Tinder, a couple of selfies, you know, usual sort of like, yeah, post them up there, bunny bio and all that sort of stuff. And then we got going. So I started chatting and we matched with this girl and I started chatting with her. And I'm obviously not going to name any names in this just because in case she sees this and she may get a little bit embarrassed. So if you want to know, type in the comments, see who you think it is. So I started chatting to this girl and we hit it off quite well. You know, she's Scottish, which was fantastic. She lived local to me. She's got a great job and I'm sitting there, she's ticking all the boxes, you know, this is brilliant. Not a problem. She looked really nice from her pictures and all that sort of side of things. I was like, great, let's get this sorted out. Let's sort something out right now. So we arranged to meet on a Saturday night, probably about, I think it was about 7:30. We arranged to meet and yeah, local pub not far away from me. Now I live in a little town. I wouldn't say it's a city now. It's a very well known city and it's got a lot of great places there, a lot of nightclubs and all that sort of stuff, great pubs to go to. So I picked one that wasn't too crazy. It was one of those like places you can sit and talk and all that sort of side of stuff. So we arranged at 7:30 on the Saturday. So it comes to the day, and during the day, I'm a father. I've got my daughter on the Saturday and the weekends. So on that Saturday day, I was looking after her. Now she texted me about 10 o'clock in the morning saying, looking forward to tonight. And I was like, great, yep, no problems. Yeah, me too. Can't wait to see you, blah, 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 blah. So that was it, great. So I spent the day with my little kids and we're having some fun. So when I was driving back, she texted me again saying, looking forward to tonight. And I was like, I was driving, don't want to be that guy who's driving while texting, plus I had my daughter in my car. So I blue ticked her on WhatsApp basically. But I said to myself, well, I'll see you in a few hours. What's the problem? No problems at all. I'll be good. So didn't think much of replying back. Now I'd put a lot of effort into this date, you know. I've not been dating for about 5 or 6 years since then, you know. So I went out, got myself some new gear, new t-shirt, jeans, got my hair done. I shaved my head, trimmed my beard a little bit. It wasn't as long as this, and it definitely wasn't as grey as this back then. And I got myself sorted. So I was looking the part. I looked the part, which was great. I even texted my mates going, what do you think of the fit, you know? What do you think of the fit, yo? And they were like, yeah, looking good, Ryan, looking good. I was like, right, okay, cool. So I get myself there. Now I'm a bit of an old school gent when it comes to these sort of things. So I make sure I get there early. So I was there about 7:15. One bit of Dutch courage you know, a little bit of have a drink beforehand, you know, first date in a long time. And two, a bit chivalrous. You can't have a girl waiting for you at a bar. You want to be there first that she's not waiting. So you have to be a little bit that. So guys out there, if you ever go on dates, make sure you get there first. Never let a girl wait on you. Plus, isn't it craziness? Doesn't matter with you. Chivalry is not dead. Come on. So I got there at 7:15. So I had a few drinks. I had 2 drinks when I was there in that 15-minute time frame to kind of wet the whistle. Bit Dutch courage. So it comes to 7:30. So I'm like, okay, she's not turned up yet. I'm like, fine, that's great. Okay, no problems. Maybe she's just been a bit late. Comes to like 7:45, still not turned up. I'm like, okay, you're on the borderline fashionable late territory right now. You know what I mean? 15 minutes. I'm just like, all right, hold on. Now it comes to 8 o'clock, still not there. So I'm sitting here. The place is starting to get a little bit busy, and I'm sitting here muggins. I already got another drink and that sort of stuff as well. So I text her. So I just texted, said, I take it I'm on my own tonight then. And then literally within seconds, she replied back saying, oh my God, are you there? I didn't think you were coming. And I'm like, well, we arranged it. I arranged it during the week and I confirmed it in the morning. So we'll get to that later on and why that reason was. So I was like, well, I'm here. And she was like, oh, give me an hour and I can meet you there. No problems. Now I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll give her a benefit of the doubt. You know, I've had a couple of drinks already. My first day out, probably screaming of desperation at that point. You know, after a breakup, you're like, oh my God. Bear in mind, I should not have been dating at this point in time. It was stupid for me to go on a date at that 3 months after a breakup of 6 years relationship. Absolutely mental. So, lucky enough, I lived about 5-minute walk away from the pub, the bar. So I went back down. Now I went back down the road and the housemate that I live with he's a gamer. He's a streamer, does all the business. He's got all the gear and all that sort of side of things. So as soon as I open the door, he's got all the lights. He's got all the gear, pointing, screaming into the mic. He turns around and he's like, what the hell are you doing here? I thought you were on a date. And I was like, no. Oh my God, you've been stood up. You've been stood up. And I'm like, I haven't been stood up. She's just a bit late, that's all. And he's like, oh my God. So he's in stream with all he's been chat. I think there was about 70 or 80, 90, 100 people on there. And he's like, go and grab a beer. Let's sit down and have a chat about it. So he puts his just chatting scene on. Now I'm sitting there being talked about and being pepped up by about 100 people to say there's plenty more fish in the sea around. I looked like such a loser because they must have thought I was such a loser for being stood up. But I'm trying to plead my case. I'm pleading my case to all these people about not being stood up. But anyway, so he had his fun. He took the piss. So it comes to about an hour later. So I decided to walk back up to the bar. Now, the bar's a little bit more busier right now because it's getting to like 9 o'clock at this point in time. So I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there. I managed to get a seat and it was like one of the ones that kind of right next to the bar. So if you're coming in to get to the bar, you have to walk past me. There's 2 entrances. There's one that side and there's one this side. We have to walk past both entrances to get to me. So she came on the opposite side. So I looked. She walks in and I was like, she don't fucking look like her pictures. She looked completely different. I got catfished big time. And I was like, oh my God. And she was drunk as hell. I mean, I'm talking about obnoxious drunk. That's what I'm talking about. Loud, giving all this. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, what have I got myself into right now? Now, she didn't look like her pictures. I wouldn't say I was catfished. I think I was, catfish is a little bit of a strong word for it. I would probably say deceived by a lot of top-down pictures sort of thing. So I had pictures, couldn't see the rest of it. So I don't want to say anything bad, but she was a bit more heavier set than I thought that she would have been or what she led on to. Maybe I didn't divulge it, but how are you supposed to say that to someone? Oh, by the way, are you a fatty? Can't say that to someone, can you? So, especially if you want to go out on a date with them. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I was like, screw it. I'm out. I've had a few drinks. Just go with it. There's no connection there straight off the bat, but I didn't want to be that guy that just went for a drink and fucked off. But anyway, let's get back to her. So she's absolutely fucking pissed as fuck. So excuse the language, but she is leathered. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, she's being loud, being obnoxious. She's, you know, when someone's like so loud that people around the bar turn round at you, like as if to say like, oh my God, look at the state of that, you know, look down on you. And I'm just like, oh, this is going to get worse. I've got 2 choices, right? I've got 2 choices. I can either leg it or I can get on her level. So I decided to go for the latter of the 2. Plus I wanted a few drinks. I was out. I had a few drinks down my neck anyway. So I was like, right, let's go for it. There was nothing going to happen between us. So let's just go for it from there. So we're chatting away. She's getting loud, blah, 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 blah. We're having a few drinks. All of a sudden, about half an hour, 45 minutes goes on. And then all of a sudden, at the corner of my eye, I see someone that I recognize. And I just looked to my right. And honestly, I was like, oh no. It wasn't the ex-missus. It wasn't her. It was the ex-missus' sister and her husband. And they walked right past us. They beelined for me and just looked at me, and they're standing up. I'm on the seat here, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right. And she just looked, you know, when that bitchiness, the sister was all right, but the bitchiness of, you're right, Ryan. And I was like, oh no. She basically did it straight away. And my husband just started there, massive grin on his face. And you guarantee that she went round to where she was sitting on the fucking group chat, giving it, I just seen Ryan, the girl he's with, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, here we go. So we kept on going. Now I said to her, I mentioned to her, do you mind if we go elsewhere? Because it's a little bit uncomfortable for me. And she's like, yeah, that's not a problem at all. And she's getting more and more drunk. And she turned round to me and she was like, should we go across the road? They do 2-for-1 cocktails. And I'm like, motherfucker, have you not had enough? But she's Scottish. What can I say? So I was like, hey, fuck it. Why not? Let's just do it. You know, and later on, I found out why she got so drunk. So basically what happened is when she texted me at 4 o'clock, which I didn't reply, she thought I wasn't turning up. So I was like, okay, but I was. We arranged it, but I didn't think you were turning up. So her and her housemate decided to get on it. And before she came out, she drank about 2.5 bottles of wine before she came out. So I'm just like, oh, that's a reason why you get pissed off. I'm surprised. If I drank 2.5 bottles, I'd be on my ass. I would be, nope, game over, straight to bed. 3-day hangover, do not fucking come anywhere near me. But she can handle a drink, sort of thing, obviously. I mean, we're going back a few years, but still. So I was like, oh, now it's starting to get to the sort of point. Well, there we go. Well, we get to this place, and this is a bit more of an upbeat place. It's a bit more nightclubby. It's a bit more craziness. So I'm just like, okay. We go through the dance floor, and there's some seat at the back of the dance floor. So when she goes straight to the bar, buys fucking 2 cocktails, comes over with 4. Obviously 2 for me and 2 for her. There was an inkling saying, "Are they 4 for you? You greedy bitch. What are you doing?" But I think that was a little bit too much. So we're drinking these cocktails. She turned out to be a nice enough girl, you know. She calmed down a little bit. She said she was nervous. That's why she was being a little bit loud and obnoxious and being all like that. But you could see there was a crazy side to her and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, fucking hell, this is mental. So to go to the toilet, you had to go through the dance floor. Now she's going through, she's pinballing through the dance floor into people. She's like ding, ding, hanging all the way through to get through to the dance floor to get on to the toilet sort of thing. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then as she was coming back, I just see her with these 2 glow sticks in her hand and a big smile. She's going, giving all this and waving about. These things were like not massive. They weren't small. They're about that size. So these things were quite big. I mean, you could like do some damage to someone if you hit it, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, Christ, what's going on? You just see these 2 little glow sticks in the middle of this black, kind of pitch black dance floor sort of thing. And I was like, what the hell? And all of a sudden she came to me, she turned around and just went, whoosh, and launched it into the dance floor. And that was with venom. And I'm not talking a little tap, like, oh, grab a glow stick. She went, no, whoa, launched it, twatted the side of the head of some guy. He just turned around going, what's going on? The bouncers see this, and the bouncers are like meerkats. All of a sudden, you just see all these heads go about like these massive, huge, burly, fucking massive, gunned up fucking bouncers like meerkats just going, huh, what's going on? And I just went, oh, shit. We're about to be fucking launched now. And as I said that, the other one just goes, poof, and I swear, it missed some girl's head by that. It was like, it was like something out of like a Matrix film, because she must have seen like an orange blur coming towards her head, and she just went, whoop, and boom, went past her. And then all of a sudden, that's it. The bouncers are there, swarmed over to us. We just went, right, grab her. So I'm like, we need to get out here before we're gonna get our asses kicked. So we launched out, bumping into everyone. People are cussing us out. I'm like, I'm really sorry. And we eventually get out. So when we get out, she's gone, absolutely shit-faced. She's staggering about, giving all I was right, it's about 12 o'clock now. You know, I've had a few. I'm not pissed or anything like that. You know, I'm trying to kind of look after her. And I'm like, right, okay, let's get you home. Now, where I live, we normally just, there's a big high street. You know, the UK, in the US, you don't really have this, but in the UK, you have like a high street and a night out, and that's where the cabs line up. It's the black cabs. You just queue up and wait for them. Now, where I was, there was a massive queue of people, but no cabs there at all. And I was like, Jesus, we're not going to get a cab for ages. I spoke to the guy. He said it's going to be at least an hour and a half to get home. And I'm like, bloody hell. But I was okay, because I could literally just walk down the road 5 minutes away and I'm home. But I couldn't leave her by herself, because that's just, I mean, anything could have happened. She hurt herself, something could have hurt her, sort of thing. So I was like, okay, I need to look after this drunken mess. Let's find a place to go. So what I did, I got on the phone and I phoned up a cab to meet outside my house, because if you phone, because they were black cabs in the high street, now if you phone them, they're private cabs, they'll come quicker. So I was like, okay, she went 15 minutes. I was like, perfect. So where we come down towards my house, it's like alleyways sort of thing, little small roads to go down. It's like an old Roman town sort of thing. So there's lots of downhill, and it's all downhill. So as we're coming down, there's all these like terrace houses down down the hill. And I was like, bottom of the hill, that's where I live. Great. Now she comes down the hill, she's staggering, I'm in front of her. I'm making sure that she's not kind of falling over and hurting herself. And then she's like, I need to go for a wee. And I'm like, okay, well, the cab's going to be outside my house in about 5 minutes. You can run in and use the toilet from before you get into the cab. And as soon as I said that, I turned around and she darted to the right. And I went, what the fuck is going on right now? She ran in a church. I don't know what a random church is doing. In between a row of houses, there's a church there. It's a row of houses, church, then another row of houses. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? I've never noticed this church here before. Why is it here? But she ran up the stairs into the church. And then she peed in the church. And I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And so bad, it came down the stairs that she just ran up on, like fucking Niagara Falls. It was just like, it's like somebody turned a tap on. Coming down, I had to step out of the way because I was blocking the trail of piss coming down past me. And I'm like, what the hell? This is the first day. What are you going to be like on the second day? If there is one. Let's be honest, it wasn't going to be a second day. So I'm like, holy shit, fucking hell, what's going on right now? So she comes out, all like, I feel better now. And I'm like, fuck's sake. So when we get outside my house, the cab is there. The cab's there waiting for us. And I'm like, right, okay, here we go. Let's get in here. So she gets in the cab. I'm like, I can't let her go back by herself because just craziness. You never know what's going to happen. As I say, she's intoxicated. She was very drunk. You know, you hear horror stories about things happening on the way home with girls. So I was like, right, let's get her on here. So I get in the cab with her. Now, as soon as I get in the cab, she's like fucking game on. She's like fucking, oh, he's coming back home with me. I went, no, I'm fucking not. I'm making sure you don't fucking die or get murdered by the crazy cab driver, man. So she's all over me like this. And I'm like, fucking batter away. But there's something that happened that night. Now, I don't know if anyone else has had this sort of scenario, but something happened between me and the cab driver. We glued up. We connected. Sixth sense, so to speak. Of he understood my predicament, and I understood that he understood, if that makes sense. So we just started chatting. Now I'm leaning forward like this. I'm like this, trying to lean forward, going, yeah, okay, trying. And she's behind me like that. I'm fucking batter away, fuck off. And then he's sitting chatting. We started talking about anything and everything. You know, the sky is blue. Why is the grass green? Next thing we know, we're talking about the economic fucking downturn that happened in Japan in 1925. Don't know if that's a true thing, but I think we come up with it. So it was great. I love that cab driver. Fantastic. Now we get to where she lived. Now she opens the door. She falls out. I'm like, for God's sake, let's see if we can get this girl out. So I said to the cab driver, wait here, please, for the love of God, do not go anywhere. And he's like, I'll have to keep the meter running. I was like, I don't give a shit. You keep whatever you want running. I'll be back in a few minutes. He's like, okay. So we get in, and she lives in a block of flats. Now she lives on the second floor, and she opened the door to her, the downstairs to get into the foyer to go up the stairs. Now she's in front of me. I'm behind her in case she falls. I'm there to catch her, you know, because I'm like that, you know, just in case she's pissed up. But have you ever seen Indiana Jones? You know that famous scene in Indiana Jones when the boulder runs down the stairs and just tries to... That's what would have happened to me if she fell backwards. I was not going to fucking save her. I would have died, you know? I would have died. Then I realised that halfway up going, this is pointless. There's no point to me doing anything right now. I will die. If she falls back on me, I'm dead. I'm game over. So I was like, for fuck's sake. So then we get to her door, chap on her door. She couldn't open the door. The chap on her door, her housemate opens. And then she's just like, for fuck's sake, not again. I just went, she's your problem. And yeah, chucked her back in and I legged it. Quietest journey home in a cab. It was mental. And then I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning from a text from her saying, what happened to you last night? I thought you were staying over. And I just turned around and just went, nope. Did reply, blocked, never spoke to that woman again. Never seen her again either. And that is it. That is probably the fucking craziest first date I have ever been on in my entire life. And to this day, I've not been on worse. So I think I started off, I peaked too early. And then could have got, the dates I've been going on recently are actually not too bad, but that one's crazy. So there you go. There's a story of the church incident. But I met a girl who didn't say what she looked like, pissed as fuck, started launching glow sticks at people and then peed the church on the way home. God knows. Internet dating, everybody who says it's rubbish. So entertaining. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe again. And yeah, comment in the video below what your crazy online dating story is. And I'll try and see if I can reply to it and give some feedback as well. It's always a pleasure. Take care of yourself. Bye.